Shalom Aleichem again to all our listeners over here at Kodesh Yerushalayim. We would like to share a word of chizuk over here. Also is related to the Parshas Tzav, the Pasuk, the famous Pasuk, Ve'esh HaMizbeach Tukad Boy, the fiery Eish which is on the Mizbeach, the burning fire of every Jew is something which we have to always have in mind. How much do we have to be lit on fire? What do I mean to say? Right? We all are aware that there's a famous Gemara. The Gemara in Sukkah and Daf Chav Ches brings down over there the unbelievable hanhaga of the Talmidim of Hillel HaZaken. One of the Talmidim was Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, and the Gemara goes and explains that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was unbelievable. He was on so many high levels. He was on so many high levels of Torah. He knew everything, but he was considered the person in his hanhaga and the way he behaved as the lowest of the ladder from all the Talmidim, from the 80 Talmidim of Hillel HaZaken. Yonasan ben Uziel, it said over there that you look at him and he was a fire of a person. When he would learn Torah, he was full of fire. Such fire that birds that would fly over his head would burn from the fire, from his Kedusha, from his Torah. Very interesting thing to point out is that this is the Talmidim of Hillel HaZaken. But Hillel HaZaken himself, how come we never see the Chazal say that birds were burning when they were flying over Hillel's head? So some of the different Mefarshim like to bring down that we see that there obviously are different types of hanhagas in different gedolim, in different greatness that a person can reach when he's learning Torah. Hillel HaZaken, the fact that he didn't have birds flying over his head and being burnt from the kedusha of his Torah didn't mean that he was any less than his Talmidim. But it just meant that there was something different about the fire of the Talmidim and the fire of Hillel HaZaken. And some of the examples which are given is that sometimes a person can be in a situation where he feels fiery. He feels fiery about his avodas Hashem. He feels fiery and he feels like he's growing and he's steiging and he's doing great and he's fulfilling his mitzvahs and he really feels like he's on a high. But then comes the point of, do I let this high go and bring me to a situation, even if it's at the expense of maybe hurting a fellow Jew? Sometimes a person can be in a situation where he wants to do a certain mitzvah and he wants to do it so bad because he really feels like it's for his real spiritual level that he's holding on. And he doesn't really think if it's going to go and affect somebody else. So it's true that it looks like to us that he's on fire. He's on fire because look at him. He can go and burn birds over his head with the kedusha of how much he has such a fire within him burning that he wants to go and fulfill the will of Hashem. But what happened? Look what's going on. It could be it's at the expense of somebody else. And the truth is, we see, and it's very well known, that there are countless stories about Gedolim and Tzaddikim that we can learn this lesson from, that even them who were on such major madregas of Torah that they knew everything, they still did not want it to go and affect another person to the point where their mila of their steiging, their growth, would go be at the expense of somebody else. Two short, quick stories. Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, he once came to the town of Warsaw. Over there was the Chidushei Arim, the first Ger Rebbe. And he came to visit him, and all the Hasidim, all the people in the town saw that the Ger Rebbe came to go and greet this Lithuanian Gadol. Who was this Lithuanian Gadol? He was the head of the Musar movement, Rabbi Yisrael Salanter. And what happened is that he came over there and he saw how much kavod the Rebbe gave him. So all the Hasidim were interested to go and follow him and to see what he was up to. So they went to shul, they went to see him daven, and they spent extra time to go and watch how he davened such a long Shmoneh Esrei, v'chulei v'chulei. They spent a lot of time, and then Rabbi Yisrael Salanter said, I want to leave. And they asked him, why do you want to leave? So listen to this. He told them, I want to leave because I see that the longer I stay, I cause all these people to do things that they're not normally used to doing. Many of these people have jobs. They're in the middle of a job, they're working, they have their normal life. Why should they go and spend their time where they're supposed to be working and go following myself over here? Just because I know that I'm over here and I could be that I'm going to be mashpia on people. I will teach a lot of musar and I will teach Torah to others. But if it's going to be at the expense that somebody else is going to go and take away from his daily schedule because of me, I don't want that to happen. Unbelievable story. That's one. Ma'aseh V'Gadol. We're going to end with Moshe Feinstein. Moshe Feinstein, we know, was the Gadol Ador here in America. And Moshe Feinstein, one time, said over like this. There was a bakery, a matzah factory, that he used to bake in all the years. I guess it was near his house, over there on the east side. And he used to bake all the time in a specific matzah factory. Many years, of course, this was already a rundown, an old place, and he wasn't able to go and do so easily all of the stringencies that he had in mind in doing and preparing his matzahs for Pesach. Because it was small, the room didn't allow for it, And then one year opened up, a new, nice, spacious matzah bakery that opened up that was perfect for someone like the Gadol Ador who knew every single word of Torah, like Rav Moshe Feinstein. Rav Moshe Feinstein was very excited. He said, wow, there's a new bakery that opened up. This will be great. We will be able to do X, Y, and Z when we would go and prepare our matzahs for Pesach. But right before he was about to go and set out to leave his house to go to this new bakery, he stopped. And he said, wait a second, what's going to happen over here? I'm going to go to the new bakery, and they're going to see Rav Moshe Feinstein. It looks like Rav Moshe Feinstein doesn't like the old bakery. I'm going to cause him such a loss. I'm going to cause him so much pain because people aren't going to come to him because they're going to say, we want to go and bake where Rav Moshe Feinstein's baking. And therefore, Rav Moshe Feinstein said that I'm not going to go, even though I'll be able to get a lot of my stringencies in this wonderful, spacious place, this new place. However, I'm not going to go and do that at the expense of hurting another Jew, even if it's going to be that I'm going to bake matzahs in a smaller place. So the fire that we're looking for, Be'ezus Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu should bring it to us, and it should allow us to continue to have that siyata d'shmaya to be burning inside. But even when we're on a high, chas v'shalom, we should ever allow it to take it to going to affect others. Sometimes people, they get on a high and they say, oh, look at this guy, I can't believe he didn't know this halacha, I can't believe he didn't know how to do this, I can't believe he didn't know this, I learned this, I know this. Of course, that's not what Torah is about, that's not what avoid is about. We have to go and be on a fire, we have to go and be on a high, but never at the expense of chas v'shalom, doing a midah ra, or causing some harm, or causing some loss to another Jew. Thank you all for listening, have a great day, everyone should continue to have a wonderful Chag.